Hello, lovelies. I hope you're doing well. I am. I'm excited. It's time for a story. I always get excited when we get to read weird stuff. It's my favorite time of day. This is from Reddit user Megan Kumori. This is Tristan and Imbecile. It's a heck of a title. Let's get into this one, huh? Hello to Moonhorse. Hello. Sweetest guy on YouTube and narrator of my nightly bedtime story. Oh, stop. You're too kind. And hello to the rest of the moon herd. Today I'd like to share a story that I was witness to, both eye and, unfortunately, ear. This took place about 14 or 15 years ago, and though I was not directly involved, I may have inadvertently instigated it. I'll never know, but I'll explain later. To start off, I wear my geek on my sleeve. My enjoyment of anime grew out of my lifelong love of animation. I wear a few anime pins on my work lanyard and own the usual assortment of merch and accessories. One day, in my early 20s, I was sitting in the local library browsing the internet. At the time, I was on a massive Detective Conan kick. I'm also a mystery buff. So, I was lazily looking through pictures of my favorite, not actually a kid detective when I hit anime. It came from the computer directly next to me. Two people, a guy and a girl, were sharing it, and it was the girl who had spoken. Well, yelled, actually. She was a tiny thing with reddish hair and a voice like an 8-year-old 10 seconds before mommy has had enough and decides it's nap time, followed shortly by wine time. By contrast, her male companion was large, not fat, just large. A fellow with brownish blonde curly hair, and when he spoke, he had a German accent. I never called her name, but she called him Tristan. This was a college town, so I surmised they were from the university. Well, maybe he was. She might have escaped from the local preschool. I don't know if this was a coincidence, or if she had looked over, seen my browser full of shiny eyes and tiny noses. Conan doesn't look like the typical anime, but it's unmistakably of Japanese origin. And this provoked her outburst. Either way, I tried to ignore her as she yelled at the gentle giant sitting next to her. "I don't want our children watching anime," she trilled. "You're gonna have to give it up. We can't date anymore if you keep watching anime." That's weird. Oh, gross. An anime hater and emotionally abusive control freak, too. I kept my mouth shut and my eyes on my screen. This is not my business. Tristan finally spoke. "Well, I'm sorry," he said, "but I'm not giving up anime, so if you want to break up..." The tiny tree troll suddenly let out the most ear-splitting shrieking wail I've ever heard. "You don't love me!" Whoa. Lori Beth's loud librarian. Oh my god. Okay. Before I go on, I have to actually explain that. There was a character on the show All That Lori Beth Dimberg played where she was a library and she screamed constantly. It was ironic, but it's really funny, and I'm honestly surprised anybody else remembered that, and that just made my night. Thank you so much. Lori Beth's loud librarian had nothing on this chick. As for me, unfortunately, in the next chair, you ever seen a Peanuts cartoon where Linus's hair suddenly shoots straight up on end? Think like Great Pumpkin or something? Yeah, after this great display of maturity and grace, she took off running to parts unknown. Wow. I wasn't gonna follow her. Tristan, meanwhile, just sat at his computer, looking miserable. I felt bad for this dude as I looked at him. I looked at my computer, looked at him again, and a thought occurred to me. Should I give this guy my number? Well, I did not. Perhaps if I did, today I would be Mrs. Tristan Curly Hair, and tonight we'd be eating pizza rolls and watching Totoro with our 3 kids. I love that movie. Instead, I'm single, childless, and riding to Moonhorse as I eat baby carrots. Both of these are fantastic options, although writing to me is a far more interesting venture. I say that with obvious bias. Anyway, the unholy love child of Dexter and Dee Dee eventually came back, and she and Tristan picked up right where she left off. Through the blubbering, she kept insisting over and over that she didn't want their children to watch anime. Seems weird. And that he didn't love her. Oh boy. For his part, Tristan kept trying to assure her that he did in fact love her, but he couldn't give up anime just because she said so. and on ad nauseum. Excuse me, ad nauseum. I see what you did there. Well played. Anyway, I just kept my mouth shut. Mama raised a snarky bitch, not a nosy one. By the time I left, they were still going at it, and one of the librarians had to step in to shut her up. That's my story, Moonhorse. Thanks for listening. Well, thank you for sending it in. Tristan, if you're out there, call me. I have Cowboy Bebop and baby carrots. Tristan, you should absolutely call her. It's a much better option. Believe me. Like, I can't get over this level of just, like, immaturity and nonsense. You don't love me because you watch a certain medium of show. Like, really, dude? Really? That is super control freak. That's, like, crazy beyond crazy. I have witnessed that particular kind of behavior on more than one occasion. It's a lot of leg-beardy stuff. But it's not necessarily just regulated to them, but yeah, I know that. That's, oh boy. That's hardcore emotional manipulation. Here's a thing you like. You're not allowed to like the thing you like because I don't want you to, because that thing brings you joy, and the only thing that should be bringing you joy is me. That's fucking psychotic. That isn't how anything on Earth works ever. Period. Humans don't have a singular function like that. But people like that don't understand how basic human mentality works anyway. They're already kind of fucking nuts. The fact that her response to this guy wanting to watch, like, anime was to scream that and then run away, I'm gonna be honest with you, this has probably happened on multiple occasions, if they're even still together, which I doubt, but I'm willing to bet that has happened on multiple occasions between the two of them. She demands something, he moderately disagrees, she goes to extreme levels to try and force him to agree. The fact that he didn't follow her, and the fact that she came back, means that this has happened so often that he knows. Like, he just knows that that's a thing, and that she'll come back. Like, this is 100% just being done as a manipulation tactic. Like, oh boy, that is so... Oh my god. I can't imagine, like, having to watch that play out next to you, though. Like, with a couple of strangers. Like, you don't even know these people. The examples I have are from people that I have known in the past. But just, like, really think about that. Like, if you know people, or have known people, who do that kind of emotional manipulation shit, imagine witnessing that from a completely outside perspective. That has to be, like, the craziest shit you've ever seen. That has to be, like, the weirdest fucking thing you have ever witnessed. Because, like, it makes no sense if you don't already have that context. Like, to those of us who do, and for pretty much all of us now, since I kind of explained it, you have that context. So now you're just like, oh, I get it, it's, you know, manipulation and things like that. But if you don't know anything about this, imagine seeing this. Like, and the most amazing part about that is this girl has absolutely no qualms about appearing as that level of insane just to get her own point across. Like, dude, I don't usually say this when it comes to relationships. I'm a firm believer in, like, you know, healthy relationship can be formed if you're willing to work things out, but in this case, Tristan, fucking run. Run far, my friend. Run fast. And do not look back. That level of fucking emotional manipulative crazy? No, dude. No, man. There's no working things out with that. You just need to fucking bail. That may be harsh, but, you know, it's kind of the way I feel about it. But that's the end of this video, and thank you all so very, very much for being here. Thanks again to Megan Komori for sending in this story. Hey, I rhymed. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Silent Bob Snoogans. If you have your own story to send in, you can send it to r/Moonhorse Stories. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I have a Ko-Fi, and I have a merch store. You know, in case you want to wear an awesome Moonhorse t-shirt. I was gesturing to myself, and I realized that, one, you can't see me, and two, I'm not wearing a Moonhorse t-shirt right now. So that was extra stupid. I'm doing good, you guys. I'm a real professional. I love you all so very much, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everybody.